Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight. This is going to be a weekly reading, a reading for the week ahead. Let's see what kind of energies we get. We have the Mantegna Tarot here. This is a deck of oracle cards. The first card flipping out from this deck is Terpsichore, card number 13. I do believe this is a card about harmonizing. Then we have grammar. Great. So card number 13 and grammar card number 21. This is a tarot deck called the Moon and Stars Tarot. Let's see what kind of messages we have for the week ahead. Ooh, a little sticky. Yeah. The cards were shuffled prior to recording. Let's do a little bit more on camera. So let's see if we can get 6 cards, 6 messages, or a storyline here. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Perfection. So honing your skills. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Hanged Man. We have the 5 of Cups. Wow, a lot of Cups cards. Those are going to have to pick one. If you're going to flip out again. I actually want to make sure none. Yeah, one more card, please. Let's get a clearer message. Nope. Let's get a clearer message, please. One more card. 8 of Pentacles, that's hard work, perseverance, honing your skills. That's why it says perfection. It's about repetition, consistency in a grounded fashion. So after doing something repeatedly and consistently, we have a reputation for that thing that we've been doing, whatever it is. That means that we become skilled at whatever that thing is. And this reflects hard work. Into what have you been putting your hard work? What do you have to show for your repetitive action? What kind of habits have you been making? The Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. So for the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups, we have emotional offers coming in. This is a message of emotion, potentially something that could be a message that is emotionally fulfilling. Both with the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, you know, they do have slightly different meanings here, but they are both messages of love, emotionality, things that have the potential for fulfillment. So we have romance and loyalty. Interesting. Now, we could have a message coming in from someone who might be a little bit foolhardy in love. It's a very sort of naive, innocent take on, or perhaps lighthearted and jovial take or message, offer, and so forth. In my hands, we have the Starseed Oracle, and the first card that flipped out is Cracked Open. It says, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Very interesting. Ooh, boy, that's having a hard time keeping this deck together. I'll take one more card, please, if you'd like. Okay. Is that it? Is that the message? That's a bunch of cards again. Okay, we'll go with that. The Breath of the Cosmos. So, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life, and Breath of the Cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Interesting. Okay. So let's start out with the cards from the Mantegna Tarot. We have Terpsichore, which is the archetype for nimbleness. Dance with everyone to understand them better. This could be thought of as putting oneself in someone else's shoes, imagining what it would be like to walk in their path. There is the full moon here at her feet. This could imply illumination, a change of perspective. There's a great body of water behind the protagonist here, but yet she has her feet on the ground, suggesting a balance between emotional energy and the grounded nature of the earthly plane. Dance with everyone to understand them better. Again, consider the perspectives of others. And grammar, this is the archetype for memory. Writings remain like an indelible memory. This is to say that words spoken, words written, texted, emailed, etc., messages sent, messages expressed are irretrievable, whether they are positive in nature or not. How, in fact, the messages, the words spoken, the thoughts you have, you cast spells with your words. And there is a reverberation of the energy associated with the words and the sentiments with which you speak. So you may be rehashing a memory of something somebody said or something you said, a conversation, an argument, some happy news, right? For some reason, as human beings, we have more of a tendency to think about the past and exchanges of regret or exchanges over which we have remorse. We tend to ruminate over those a lot more than we ruminate over the positive circumstances in our life, including positive communication and interactions. It's very interesting, but we can try to focus our attention and change those patterns and focus on the positive things versus the negative things. Nonetheless, grammar is suggesting that our writings remain in our memories, our communications remain in our memories, our exchanges with others remain in our memories. This is also to say it can be difficult to start again in a situation that perhaps did not serve you very well in the past. What do I mean by that? Sometimes our history speaks for itself, even if we as individuals have changed. Is there something that you're thinking about repeatedly? Something cycling over and over in your mind? Do you need to change your thought patterns so that you're not reliving negative exchanges? And try to focus on something that's more positive. How can you rectify perhaps arguments or conversations with which you feel dissatisfied? Maybe you can rectify a situation, meet with someone to discuss something to have a better understanding of their perspective, maybe understand something that was misunderstood by having a conversation with them. Again, dance with everyone to understand them get better. If you interact with somebody with whom you had some kind of argument or discourse that ended negatively, perhaps you can have a conversation with them that allows you to put yourself in their shoes. Okay, let's move on to the Starseed Oracle cards here. I can read these cards, Cracked Open and Breath of Cosmos. Cracked Open says, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. I mean, ultimately, there are things over which we have no control. We don't have control over the choices other people make. That's for sure. So you can control how you react to your situations and your environments. And that's about it. Cracked Open. Don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. Instead, let it call even more of it home, into your body, at the center front of your life. It's through the extreme pressure of life's trials that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through the crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and your losses make you, not break you. Again, let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. Be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds and in ways we could only dream were possible. But first, they have to crack us open. Sometimes it hurts like hell. It's nature's way. Whether you let it happen or not, it's going to happen. So surrender to the process. It's how the light gets in. When your heart cracks open, a space is created for your soul to more fully enter. When your soul cracks open, a space is created for the grace of the Holy Spirit to enter. Let your trials, your sorrows, your pains, and your losses transform you into more and more of yourself. Stay open to the possibility that your tragedies, your losses, your sorrows, and your hurt happened for you, not to you. Bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Surrender to the alchemy of life. The Starseed Soul Inquiry asks, how can you let life crack you open? Now I want to come back to one of these last sentences. Bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open. Had we not gone through whatever experiences we have gone through which we have lived, we wouldn't be the people that we are today. So a great example of this is when we date someone and learn that that person is not for us. It can be a heartbreaking experience. We can be greatly disappointed. And then time passes and we get over that heartbreak and then we meet somebody new and you're happy with this new person. and maybe a couple of years have gone by and you cross paths with that person you dated before while you're with your new person. And when you cross paths with your ex, do you completely disregard them or do you acknowledge them? If you are the kind of person that is able to say, hi, hello, how are you? You look great, whatever it is. And you can see the disparity between what you have chosen in your past and what you are choosing for your present. There's a huge difference. And yet you have to appreciate that you made that choice of the past person because it pushed you on a path that would cause you to choose your current person. If that makes sense, I believe it makes sense. It's just an example using a relationship, but that can be true for many different circumstances. If you have worked in a job for years that you thought you might like, or maybe you took the job because you needed a job, and you worked there for years and years, and you just ultimately found it dissatisfying and finally stepped out, left that job, and you found something about which you were a lot more passionate, a job that makes you a lot more happy. And you put your effort into that new job, time passes, and you're rewarded for it either by benefits, incentives, even just the salary or the pay rate. You can look back on your old job and think, man, if I hadn't been so unhappy in that old job, I don't think I would have been so propelled, so incentivized to step forward into this job that I have now, which I really, truly enjoy. So those are just two examples of how we can be pushed forward and motivated by our experiences of the past that sort of crack us open. Again, how can you let life crack you open? So for Breath of the Cosmos, this card says, my will to thy will. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. My will to thy will. When we rely only on our own will, we are micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We have to surrender to the alchemy of life in order to allow the universe to help us in our creation. When we rely on our own will, we're micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We're not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We're rejecting the great cosmic intelligence and relying instead on our personal strength. When we do this, we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will. We spend our time forcing, pushing, and living from a space of trying to. Everyone around us can feel it, and the universe can too. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, to move from my will to thy will. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you begin dancing with the rest of life. Again, another reference to dancing. Perhaps you need to listen to some music and get your groove on. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you begin dancing with the rest of life. When you bow to the great mystery and say, please use me, please show me the way, little by little, you find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. When you surrender your personal will, when you relinquish control and release the way you think things should be, and surrender to the greater will, you find yourself being led. You begin breathing the breath of life. The starseed activation says, I am willing to stop relying on my own strength and personal agenda, and instead surrender to the breath of life. Dear God, help me move from my will to thy will. Please lead me. Please show me the way. So to some degree, this card is about asking for assistance, praying and having faith that there is a divine plan and you will be assisted by the stars, by the universe, by whatever you deem as God. When you put your faith in something outside of yourself and release control over your current circumstances and trust that things will work out with you, then the divine can help you to manifest things or different ways to manage your current situation. Now, I've been over the Eight of Pentacles. It's a lot of hard work. You've built a reputation for yourself through your hard work, repetitive action. This is also patterns that we have. So we have established a skill at something. Now, in sarcasm, I could say that could be a skill of choosing the wrong partner. So with the jovial offer, move slowly. And in fact, I hadn't really focused on these other three cards. The Hanged Man suggests to take a breather, take a rest, be still. So if someone does come to you with an offer of love, maybe asking you for a date or showing an interest in you. And that is something that could be emotionally fulfilling for you. The Hanged Man asks us to take it slowly, to take some time to consider how we are going to invest, or to hold back on the investment until we find that there's balance and it's worthy of our investment. With the Five of Cups, we may still be considering past opportunities that we thought would bring us emotional fulfillment, and they failed to do so. The Five of Cups, generally in the traditional tarot, there are, I believe it's 3 cups spilled before us and 2 standing cups behind us. And instead of looking at what has spilled from these cups, this dissatisfaction that we have experienced, it's a card that asks us to turn around and see that there are still positive emotional opportunities for us. If we would just turn our attention away from the past and the spilled cups, we would then see a path forward towards more emotional fulfillment. So you may be at a point where you are reassessing experiences you've had that have left you feel dissatisfied, whether they be in friendship, they be in romantic relationships, what have you. Where have you felt let down? And as something new comes in, you may have this skepticism that you're going to be hurt again. You're going to be let down again, because that's what history has shown us. Again, things remain, right? And like an indelible memory. The history we've lived, our experiences, show us what we can expect for our future, but we really have to surrender in order to open ourselves up to other possibilities, not focus on the past, the spilled cups, but instead turn our attention to the divine plan. It is likely that if an offer is coming in for you that could prove to be emotionally fulfilling, it has a chance to be emotionally fulfilling if we can put the past behind us and welcome in new experiences while simultaneously trusting that the universe has our back. So let's get a couple clarifiers on the reading, or confirmation cards on the reading. This is the Visconti Tarot. And we have the 3 of Wands following the 5 of Cups here, which I haven't really mentioned, but it is, on the card here it says communication, but this is a card about knowing that there's something for us in the future and having the excitement, the incentive, and the enthusiasm to pursue it. So with the Visconti Tarot, we have the Ace of Cups. This is an emotional offer being presented to us by the universe. So if the universe has something is turning in your favor, it could be emotionally fulfilling. What might it be? The next card is the Queen of Pentacles. As a thing, that is a grounded opportunity, because it's pentacles. It is related to the earth signs, and thus earthly material things and being grounded. This could be a grounded opportunity that will be emotionally rewarding for us. It could be a loving offer, an offer for a date that could be emotionally fulfilling for us. Now, the Queen of Pentacles also is someone who takes care of herself. She knows her value, she knows her worth, and she has high expectations of how she expects to be treated. So also this could be an emotional offer, and you need to embody the energy of the Queen of Pentacles and say, this is what I'm worth. Can you measure up? Can this offer measure up? So if it's an offer for a new job, for example, you say, I am worth, I am high value. What are you going to pay? You're going to make it worth my while. We have another card here that turned. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Things turning in your favor. But it may take some introspection, changing your perspective and putting yourself in other people's shoes, changing your perspective and allowing the divine to take over. Are there any other messages here from the Visconti Tarot? 10 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. That's great. So 10 of Cups, again, emotional fulfillment, satisfaction, having everything that we feel like we need for the time being, until we want more things. I think it's Kim Gordon, is that her name? Who sang, all your dreams will come true. All my dreams came true, but now I have a bunch of other dreams. That's kind of the card of the 10 of Cups. All your dreams will come true. Of course, then you'll have a bunch of other dreams. But we have to make a choice in order to feel this emotional fulfillment. We can see that we have potential for unyielding possibilities. We have potential for emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. We have to know our worth. The wheel is spinning in our favor when we value ourselves. New opportunities come in that reflect the way that we value ourselves. New opportunities that can prove to be emotionally fulfilling and rewarding, like the Ten of Cups, all your dreams coming true. But you have to make a decision between this and that. And the decision is made with this card of action here with the Knave of Wands. This is taking hold of that wand and moving forward, taking that staff with ambition and enthusiasm, making the choice and moving forward in a direction. I think over here, the point with the universe and being cracked open is that we have to trust that the universe is providing opportunities to us that will serve us, that will work in our favor. And ultimately, as we see those opportunities manifesting in our lives, it won't really matter what you choose. What you choose is going to be right for you, but you can't be in this and that energy forever. You have to choose something and make a choice. You're allowed to take some time with the Hanged Man and consider, but don't let the past mistakes tell you or dictate to you that this choice is going to be a mistake. You have to have confidence in yourself, and that also comes with having self-worth. So that is the message for the week ahead. Thank you so much for coming to Compass Starlight. I hope this message serves you.